Let's go to the phone lines. Jack's the West Ham fan. Jack, happy Saturday evening, my friend. Come on then, 2025. What do you want to see?
Lions!
Well, what I would really like is I would like either Antonio Conte, Espirito Santo, Nunes Espirito Santo, or Postecoglou, or Spurs Stadium, because I think they've had some great managers there and they've got a great stadium, and we're left with the Spanish version of David Moyes or Glenn Roeder in disguise. Honestly, it's painful to be around watching that team in that stadium, just to be completely straight with you. And I think West Ham and Spurs have got quite a bit in common in that the owners just don't seem to have the Midas touch in getting things to work. And I've been listening to the shows all night tonight, and I genuinely think that with someone different at the helm, someone that was like a Postecoglou or like a Nunes Espirito Santo, I think someone like that would do very well with the squad that we've got. What I don't understand is how can Nuno go to Forest and do what he's done, and yet be at Spurs for as long as he was and got the sack, and they didn't even give him a chance. And they just seem to go through the same cycle over and over again of managers who are good managers, like Conte.
Jack, you're a West Ham fan, right? Please tell me you're not really worried about what's happening at Spurs. Surely you'd think that's quite funny.
I'm not worried about what's happening at Spurs. I'm just seeing the similarities between the two clubs, where there just seems to be owners there that don't have the vision that so the people at Brighton do, or maybe even the people at Bournemouth now. But you look at Brighton, Bournemouth, you look at these teams, Brentford, look at how well they're run. It's particularly Brighton. I mean, is there a better run club than Brighton for the money that they've got?
Jack, it's 4 games unbeaten, and it's so tight at the moment, isn't it? I mean, you're 13th in the table, but you are only 6 points off 6th place. I mean, do you not think you're going a little bit early? Calling for Lopetegui to be sacked. Does he not need a little bit more? I think the dog agrees with me, doesn't he? Do you not think he deserves a bit more time?
I don't, because I've been watching it week in and week out, and I've just seen him, like Moyes, he scrapes through by the skin of his teeth, and he doesn't even know what his right team is. He's switching and chopping and changing, and I don't think I think the players bought into it at first. I think now they're sort of thinking to themselves, Joe, I'm not sure about this guy. And I really think that it's just filtering through the club at the moment. Joe, I'm not sure about him. Not sure. Don't think he actually knows exactly what he's doing. And I think he is just a Spanish version of David Moyes. He just wants to keep what he's got. And we've got players there that really good. Our attack line is very, very good. Because the great players of Bowen, Kudus, Somerville. I mean, he keeps taking Somerville off when he should be leaving him on and let him get at players. He was the best player in the Championship last year. What a talented young player. And to be fair, Fulkrug doesn't look like he's done it. We've obviously been unlucky.
He's not been fit, Jack, to be fair, has he? He hasn't been fit. He needs a run of games.
He hasn't been fit and he needs a run of games, but he did get a run of games at first. And basically what happened is we went with Antonio because he just wasn't doing it. So maybe he will come good, but even he's not really what we needed. We could have got Duran from Villa. We had a chance to get with £5 million. Is all they were asking, more than what we were offering. And that's what I mean about the appetite, the ambition. You've got to have that in your owners.
Jack, but you say about Lopetegui, right, isn't the way that West Ham fans want you to play football. Surely this comes down to Tim Stainton, who's the director of football there, because West Ham fans got David Moyes out, let's be honest, because they were fed up with the football. You got your first trophy since 1980. Then you bring in Lopetegui, and as you said there, everybody knew that when he was at Wolves, his style was you play like 5 at the back, you're very tight, you're defensive, you just try and kill games, and then you hit teams on the counter-attack. So surely Tim Stainton, who is the director of football, he's got to be culpable because it's the wrong fit.
I can't argue with that because he's got to take some responsibility for it. And yet his track record would tell you he knows what he's doing. He's done very well everywhere he's been. But, I agree with you. He's got to take some responsibility for that. And the players have to take some responsibility. But ultimately, the manager sets his stall out. We've watched him make Actually, I'm going to give him some credit. There are times in games when he makes the right substitutions where he has just salvaged games in the last 15, 20 minutes. The truth is, that was your starting lineup. You should have known that was your starting lineup. You shouldn't be doing it in the last 15, 20 minutes to recover the game.
Okay, Jack.
Everyone in the stand knows that those players should have been on from the start. And these are the things that not all of us get. I'm not a Moyes hater. I love what David Moyes brought to West Ham. I think he did brilliantly. But I think he took it as far as he could. And I think Lopetegui is a side step, maybe even a backward step.
So who would you have, Jack? We said about who do you want in 2025. So you're the new director of football at West Ham. Big pressure. Who would you go and get? It's not easy being a director of football.
You can't come on and do that and then not give us a name.
You've actually buckled already with the pressure.
No,
You've just gone on a passionate rant about why you don't want Lopetegui, and then you've got to give us one name and you've gone quiet, Jack.
You're not even letting me say. But listen, this is what happens when you're a football fan, because you know all the things that you don't like. It's
Jack, you're padding. You're padding, Jack. You're padding.
We need a name, Jack, or we're breaking.
I've got substance coming, right? It's almost like running the country. You can be in opposition for years and tell everyone how good you're going to be.
Managing West Ham's harder than that.
Exactly.
And then you get into power and you can't do it. It's the same thing with football.
Go on, him.
So, I'll take Postecoglou when Spurs sling him out.
Oh, that's a Jack. That is a brilliant shout. So you would actually
take the same points as Spurs.
That's what we are, mate. So basically, you want to just see high octane, everybody running forward, not caring about defending, and you'd be happy losing 5-3, 6-3 every week at home.
It's just what we're about.
That's just what we are, mate.
Jack, top man, thank you very, very much for your call. Do you know what, Perry?
Brilliant,
I thought
Jack.
when we open up the lines, 2025 wish list, I thought we'd have West Ham fans come. Let's get Jurgen Klopp back to the Premier League. I thought, with real high expectations. I like Ange, but West Ham are level on points for Spurs.
No. Jack's being realistic, because if he said,
but I think on a wish list, but I think on a wish list, sometimes Perry, you put down presents on a list that you're never getting.
Really?
But it's more you're more hopeful than expecting. Aren't you?
Yeah, so then you get disappointed when you don't get them.
Yeah, well, there we go. Ange Postecoglou to West Ham. That really would be something special, wouldn't it?
That's proper curveball.
On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app, and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.